Hello you guys and welcome back to Video Talk. I'm Willie and I'm here to talk to you about my Sylvester Stallone collection. As you may or may not know, Sylvester Stallone turned into 80 years old. Now that's an honorable birthday to have, especially if you're an action guy like Sly Stallone. So to honor that occasion, I want to talk to you now about my Sylvester Stallone collection, and these things are not in any kind of particular order, but I will talk a few words about each release and let's see what I got here. Oh yeah. Okay, let's start here. Okay, there I think I have one of the classics. Tango and Cash. Okay, seminal classics. Okay, also starring Kurt Russell. It's an action comedy from year 1990 if I remember correctly. And yeah, this is it's an okay film, but not necessarily one of my favorites. It has its moments. It has some classic action actors in it, like Sonny Landham, but I think it's more like too much of like a tongue-in-cheek film. But I think it's okay. Here I have also the UK Blu-ray, and I think if they put out a 4K Ultra HD, I will buy it again. But these are now the only things I have from Tango and Cash. Also check balance in it, son. That guy is always nice to see in these films. Okay, so that was the first one. And remember that I don't have everything from Sylvester Stallone. For films, film classics like Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, that I don't unfortunately have. So I will talk only about the films that I have in my collection. So let's move to the origins in the 70s and from year 1970 to be exact. Here I have Italian Stallion on DVD, and also I have a very much sought after Italian Stallion VHS, very ancient VHS, Finnish subtitles, but the film cover is in English language. I bet they just directly use the English, some UKX cover. It says here it is from Cold Star, from West Midlands, England. So that is, they didn't bother to do like the Finnish cover for it. I think it's understandable. And here I have Another World Entertainment's DVD of this classic film. Now, this was a film that Sylvester Stallone tried to take from away from circulation, but he couldn't. But it's like a softcore sex film, very poor quality in it, very kind of very like a sleazy driven film. I have seen lots of more better adult films than this, and this DVD includes the German version, which includes also hardcore inserts. Now, don't worry, Stallone did no hardcore insert, but this German version of this film includes those too. Yeah, I have nothing more else to talk about that film because it sucks, man. It freaking sucks, man. Okay, then moving to the Copland, and here he is starring this kind of like a slow cop, but an honorable cop who's a sheriff in this kind of town of cops. So he has to fight like the retired dirty cops. Also stars Robert De Niro and Harvey Keitel. To be completely fair for you guys, it has been quite a while since I have last watched Copland, so cannot really comment on the quality of the film, but I remember it being very good. I have seen it in the cinemas also, back in the day when it was new, and remember liking it. Not necessarily the Sylvester Stallone classic that I will always come back to, but a great film nonetheless. Let's move here. Sylvester Stallone turns from cop into lawless man, and he's in jail in film Lock Up. Think it was from year 1989, and it was directed by John Flynn, and it is also starring Donald Sutherland, and also a bunch of cool 80s action action guys, and it's about this guy who is like had to do some time for some minor crime, and then he's about to get released, but then something happens and he gets sentenced into the maximum security prison for the, I don't know, for the rest of his life or something. But the warden, played by Donald Sutherland, he's crooked. Can't remember too much about this. If my memory serves me correctly, it was an okay ordeal, yeah. And by the way, this VHS here that I have, a Finnish VHS from Showtime, it was cut like, I don't know, 1 minute or something. So back in the day, those Finnish censorship dudes, they weren't like kidding around. But this Blu-ray and the previous DVD also, they are obviously uncut from that film too. Yes, I will also address censorship. By the way, since we're talking about the censorship, I forgot to mention, but Tango and Cash did not have any censorship issues in Finland. The German release and the UK release was cut from that film, but I don't understand why, because it's very comical, very over the top, so I don't think nobody can take it seriously. But look at here, what I have here. Oh my god, it is over the top. The arm wrestling film, famously one of the Stallone's biggest flops, one of the Canon Picture Group's biggest flops. And here I have only this one. This is a Finnish VHS, and it's kind of cool VHS. And yeah, I don't like this film. I'll be very honest with you. Because I don't think why would they even make a film about arm wrestle? Who gives a shit about fucking arm wrestle? I don't know. And it's about more like a Stallone being father to his kid and trying to make it win this competition, to win this money and to buy this beautiful truck and take his son with him. Okay, I like the scene where Stallone reverses his like a cap, and if that's your best scene in the film, I think you're in a lot of trouble, my man. A lot of trouble. And this, hey, by the way, I think I have a DVD of this one. This is Nighthawks. It says here Kadun Haukat, but there might be some Stallone connoisseurs that can tell by the cover that this is indeed the year 1981 action thriller, starring also Rutger Hauer. And this, my man, I gotta tell you, this is a fine action thriller. It's very well made, and Rutger Hauer gives an absolute balls-to-balls fantastic performance in this one. I highly recommend this film. And this too was uncut in Finland in the cinemas, and also on this VHS, and that blue DVD is also uncut. But man, oh man, would I want to see here like this, like some sort of like a longer special edition, because the story goes like this. Sylvester Stallone cut down Rutger Hauer's performance because he was kind of jealous of this other guy being better than him, and also he toned down the final ending shootout, where you can clearly see that this character gets shot like 6 times, but only we are shown like 1 shot, or 2, was it like that? But yeah, this is something that I would love to see the director's cut, or the special longer version cut. But I think this is like lost version. You can't see this. Even if they would want to do that, I think the materials have been lost. But let's talk about this 1995 movie, Judge Dredd. Now, I have read some of these Judge Dredd comics and remember liking them very much when I was a kid. But then the movie came out and oh boy, I didn't like it. It is too childish, too like a kid-friendly film. While it has some great set pieces, I give it to that, and the robot is cool, but it's also starring Rob Schneider, and I don't like this. I don't like this guy, and I don't think this is at all on par with the comic books. But believe you me when I say you that this DVD, which has Finnish covers here, and this is a very ancient Finnish DVD, this has this like a old age limit, which means it's from the time before year 2001, because then they adjusted the video censorship methods, and they get rid of these. But these very few films got released on DVD with these kind of old age limit stickers, and this is one of them. And okay, this has been sold like over 100 euros of this DVD, and this is actually one of the actually the only thing, if you want to see this with Finnish subtitles, then you have no other option, because it has never been released here on Blu-ray with Finnish subtitles. So that is your only option, man. That is your only option. That's oh. Oh, okay. So we begin. Now we begin trashing the place down. Okay, let's put it here. Yeah. Okay. Okay, moving on. Okay, Finnish own boy Renny Harlin made this great action picture called Cliffhanger. And I gotta tell you, this is maybe the best film from, okay, at least one of the best films of Renny Harlin, and also one of the better Sylvester Stallone movies. I think this is very well made action movie, and only trouble I have with this film that it is cut for the MPAA. There is no unrated director's cut, because basically Finnish director Renny Harlin had to tone down each violent scene in this film. You can see that there's very poor quality YouTube video containing these clips from these films. You can get some sort of picture like what they were toning down there, but yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. But okay, even with these cuts, I think it is very well made and very well ahead moving action movie, and it has a definitely one of the better villains ever. John Lithgow as the John Quillan. Oh my God, he's such a bad guy, and I love every second that he's on screen. Yeah, I can. Probably most of you guys have seen sometime in their lives. No, Cliffhanger. So I don't have to probably tell you how great of a film it is. Now, it's not the best action film of all time by no means, but it's a well made and good paced exciting action mountain adventure. Yeah, that's what I wanted to see. But hear me out, hear me out. Oh shit, this is from year 1976, if I remember correctly. This is directed by Paul Bartel, and this is something called Death Race 2000. Okay, so this is a dystopian science fiction comedy, action comedy, where this futuristic a racing game takes place where they drive through the continental USA, and then there's a like extra spice to this competition that if you run over people, you get extra points. And Sylvester Stallone is one of these characters. What was the Machine Gun Joe was the guy who is he playing, and mind you that this is not. It was from year 1975. This is before the time, before Rocky, so Sylvester Stallone was not that famous actor yet. And this is also starring David Carradine, like depicted here on this Finnish videotape. And this is, okay, here I have one of the most sought after and rarest videotapes you can find in Finland. Now, this has been going out in crazy prices now. Although I have here a Betamax tape in this beautiful Molo Warner Bros. Cover, but yeah, good luck finding this. This is an absolute rarity if I ever saw one. It has gone going on for, I don't know, several hundreds of euros. And I don't think I have ever even seen this going out that many times. So, highly recommending. And this too is uncut, this videotape, and this too is uncut, this DVD. And okay, this is much more common. I think they made like a very big amount of these discs. So that's not rare, but maybe it's something that I watch if I want to watch the Kalmar Rally 2000. Okay, moving on. This is from 71, 72. This is a complete piece of shit, bullshit film. Sylvester Stallone is Rebel. Now, I really don't honestly remember what was the original title of this film. I don't think it was Rebel, but here in Finland it found its way on this dollar video DVD, and I think I even have some other release, but I couldn't find it. And same goes for the Nighthawks. I have somewhere DVD, but I couldn't find it. So okay, it's not a complete collection video. But this, I don't think this amateurish, boring film commands any other attention than just to name drop this piece of shit. So moving on to the next one. Okay, let's take two movies next, and I only have 1 and 2 from Expendables. Now, this is 2010's movies. I think the part 4 came out 3 or 4 years ago in 2022 or 23. But yeah, this is like a new action series from Sylvester Stallone, and the main idea of Expendables is like make this like a ensemble cast action movies. And yeah, he has gathered quite a few action guys in this movie. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, and Jet Li, and Dolph Lundgren, and Jean-Claude Van Damme in this second one. Okay, and Chuck Norris is in this second one. So basically, this is like a wet dream of like a kid from the 80s to see this movie. But unfortunately, this is not the best movie ever. But I easily like this second movie more than the first one. It's great. It's fantastic, and Jean-Claude Van Damme is a very good villain in this, and I think he was even called villain. Yeah. Yes, if you want to see one Expendables, make sure it is this number 2. Don't watch number 3, but I could even recommend number 4 because it's such a bad freaking movie. You have to see it for yourself to believe how bad of a movie it is, because it's bullshit, man. I will tell it right away that film is a complete piece of shit. But it's like a very funny piece of shit, to say the least. Okay. 10. Hey, let's take Laserdiscs first. So here I have a film called Assassins, and let me tell you something. I have not yet watched this. I have watched this like I don't know. When it was new back in the day, I watched it in the cinemas, but I have not seen it ever since. So, like, it was directed by Richard Donner, but I don't recall this being very good movie. But maybe I will watch this sometime from this Laserdisc, which was donated by Ace Man. He's the man, Ace Man. Okay, 10. Let's not go there, not quite yet. The next Laserdisc. This is one movie that I have before Rambos and Rockies. So let's talk about Demolition Man. Hey, this is another great futuristic action movie from Sylvester Stallone. Here he plays John Spartan, who goes to the future after being frozen, and then he has to fight his nemesis, Simon Phoenix, once again in the futuristic playground. And this is more like relevant now than it was back in the 90s. Was it 94 when this came out? But it depicts the future world like everybody has gone like pussy, and everybody's like offended by all things, that if you say fuck you, then they're very offended. So this is this is like this time in the world, surely. And I have also this Blu-ray here, but which I can get rid of because hey, what would I do with this Blu-ray? Because now I have this very kick-ass Arrow video release. Now this is a limited edition, and I think this is a very good release. Yeah, that's for dang sure. Beautiful picture quality, and has a bunch of extras and all this great Arrow video extra stuff. And I think this is out of print. Yeah, one of the better Stallone films for sure. That's for damn sure. And before Rocky and Rambo, one other major one, and I'm talking about, of course, Cobra. Now this is a fantastic movie, and let's talk about first the VHS and then the rest. Okay, here I have two mainly similar looking VHSs. Both are Finnish releases, and hey, this here has a back cover like this, and this here has a back cover like this. Now, this is an band under people 18 years old. This was released before the Finnish video law, which came into power in 1988. And this was released, I think, around 87 or 6. So this got, while being, in the circulation in the movie rental shops. But this is cut like, I don't know, 57 seconds or something. Same cuts than in the Finnish theatrical print that they made. And this later version came out. This is like banned under 16 years old, because when the new video law came into effect, it kind of prohibited like this banned under 18 years old videos to be distributed on home video. You could see them in the cinemas, but not anymore on home video. Now this is completely stupid rule, and I don't understand what were they gaining on that one. But this thing, I think the master might be imported from Sweden, because those guys were very tough on these kind of 80s violent movies, and this thing is fucking cut like, I don't know, 40 minutes or 15 minutes. This is a complete torso. Complete sequences are completely missing here. And I know this, but because I compared these two. These are both PAL videotapes. So I compared these two, and if you are thinking that this is like a little under 1 minute cuts, but this is much more shorter than this, like, I don't know, 40 minutes shorter. So that is like a travesty, atrocity. It should be like burned for the crimes against humanity, for sure. But then I have also this older Blu-ray from Warner Bros. Yeah, I can get rid of that. But then the absolute king of releases, I think I have done unboxing from this. Of course I did, because this was last year's release. It was from year 2025, and this is an absolute blast. 4K Ultra HD from Arrow Video, except no substitute. This even includes a little bit longer television cut, which kind of tones down the violent scene, but it adds some interesting sequences in the film. Yeah, and lots of great extras on this one, so this is an absolute must. And the cover, I fucking love this. This is such an iconic cover, this red backgrounded Stallone with holding a gun. I was a kid, I always thought that this is kind of weird, because Stallone is like shooting in the air, because I didn't understand that this must be like a laser sighting. Yeah, this is not bad, this new cover, but it has nothing compared to this cover. Yeah, you should get this. If there's a one movie that gets your attention on this video, it should be a Cobra. God damn. It should be definitely. And now it's dropped. Okay. So, let's move. God damn. This is a disaster. My video is a disaster. Once again. Let's move to Rockies. Okay, here I have original Warner Bros. VHS. Of course, in a Molo box. Very thick Molo Warner Bros. Box, and it's a classic. It's best. I think this is the best sports movie ever made. Now Stallone delivers this very, very sympathetic role, and it's not about sports. It's about the will to win. It's about the will of one man to become the best, and that's a great lesson to anybody. Here I have the 4K Ultra HD from Warner Bros. And yeah, the picture quality, I remember it was very good, but I don't think this included too much extras. It says here like 3 audio commentaries, which it's kind of sad, because I think there was an extra disc, but it is not included in the single editions, maybe, or something like that. But okay, No, never mind that. I will gladly watch this because the picture quality and sound quality was such a good quality. Okay, the cover is not that exciting on the 4K Ultra HD, but yeah, I think it's great release. And then Rocky 2. And same deal here. I have Rocky 2 on VHS and on 4K Ultra HD from Warner Bros. Once again, great picture quality, and the VHS looks like this, but I'm gonna tell you right now that I am not the biggest fan of Rocky 2 because I think Rocky here is very stupid character, and this you can guess where this thing is going. Now, it would be very surprising if Rocky would die in the end of this. He gets too cocky and wants to have this like a rematch, and then Apollo knocks the fuck out of him, and then he dies. That would be like awesomely surprising. But here he's just a stupid asshole who don't want to work, and here he takes the prize. I don't like this movie. But yeah, I couldn't buy only Rocky 1 and Rocky 3 and Rocky 4. I had to, of course, get also the Rocky 2. That's for sure. And then from Rocky 3, I don't have any other version than this 4K Ultra HD, and Rocky 3 is a great upgrade from this crappy Rocky 2, in my opinion. Tell me in the comments, tell your opinions, okay, because I'm interested in hearing them. But yeah, Rocky 3 looks like this, and yeah, picture quality was great. And Eye of the Tiger, yes, it is such a great anthem, and yeah, Mr. T is great here. And also I love the fact that Apollo Creed is like teaching Rocky to be the best boxer in the world. That's great. Lots more entertaining that number 2, but the best is yet to come. Okay, I will not put anything on display there because you can't even see that. Why I'm putting there? Because it's clearly not visible in this picture. Okay, in my opinion, Rocky's story is done here in this movie, and of course I'm talking about Rocky number 4. I have it on VHS as well, and once again at thick Warner Bros. Molo covers. And guess what? This was actually cut back in the day in the Finnish cinemas, and this thing here, the VHS, was uncut because you wouldn't even believe me if I tell you what the reason was when they cut it for the cinema. To my foreign viewers, this is because everybody knows in Finland, even the baby at the in the birth warden, he knows that this was cut in the cinemas. But the reason why the Finnish Board of Film Classificators cut this for the cinema release was because they cut all out of these political bureau scenes where the guy who looks like a Gorbachev is watching the fight, because they didn't want anything to reference to Soviet Union, the political party of it, because they were so scared of getting like this, like some sort of like a letter from Moscow that asking that, hey, why did you let this film come through? Because we were such a under the Soviet, although we was not part of the Warsaw Pact or part of any kind of part of Soviet Union. They had so much influence over the Finnish politics, and even it stretches a little bit even to the movies. So it could have easily be done. But the VHS, it was considered not like a meeting of people, because usually you're alone in your home or with some friends, but not with a large group of people. So the video was not considered as like a place of meeting. So it could be released uncut on VHS. So that's an extraordinary story of Rocky 4 on Finnish censorship story. But Rocky 4, I have it also on 4K Ultra HD, and this thing even includes 2 versions of Rocky 4. If you know that Rocky 4 was released in 2023 or 22 as a newly cut fresh release, because Sylvester Stallone went back on this film and wanted to do his own version, like correct some mistakes here, but it is significantly different, this new version of Rocky 4. So it's an interesting one. It's a very interesting watch experience when you watch a movie that is so familiar to you. It is much beloved film. I think this is one of the better movies ever made. This is such a great action classic, great American classic. I mean, it's fantastic. But when you watch a movie like this and you're very familiar with it, and then you get completely new scenes, then it's just weird. I'm not saying it's not necessarily worse version, but it's not the same. I will gladly from now on, if I want to see Rocky 4, I will watch the original theatrical cut. And this even is missing completely Paulier's robot with it, which is, come on, it's the greatest thing since the, I don't know, R2-D2. It's fantastic. And go see Rocky 4 if you have never seen it. Tell me in the comments which version is your preferred version. If I don't think there's anybody out there who thinks that the new version is the better version. I don't think so. But write me in the comments. And then one more Rocky. Now I don't even have like the Rocky 6, Rocky Balboa and the Creed films. But this is my final Rocky film, and as far as I'm concerned, Rocky's story ends in Rocky 4. I mean, Rocky 5 is such a shitty movie. Now, it has some fans, but I'm not one of them. No, sir. This is such a shitty movie, and it's just such like a step down from the greatness of Rocky 4. I mean, it has no excuse. It shouldn't exist even. Alright, now it's time for the big guns, and this is Rambo, the one and only Sylvester Stallone's biggest character in my opinion. And here I have First Blood, Laserdisc, and this was a donation by the great Ace Man. This looks fantastic. It's great looking Laserdisc. And then what I have here also is the very sought after Finnish tape with these great gold covers, and this is like a opaque cover. It's a very stylish cover choice, and yeah, this is a very rare tape, and it has been sometimes it has gone for like over 100 euros. And then I have a little bit lesser VHS here, and yeah, this is the gray covered VTC. Both of these I think are equally long, so there's no censorship cuts in taistelija. Yeah, it means like fighter. But this is the First Blood on Finnish VHS. And yeah, then I have also, obviously, I have the Studio Canal, this very bare-boned Blu-ray 4K Ultra HD release. I used to also have the Blu-rays, but I don't have them anymore. I don't have also the new Lionsgate release because I really didn't like the cover of that Lionsgate release, so I didn't get me one of those. But here, oh shit, a donation from Michael, and this is a freaking beautiful box. It has this beautiful embossing all over it, and this includes the steelbook. Hey, this is, I think this is an absolute great, it's a new artwork, but it is absolutely great artwork. I have no complaints about the artwork, neither of these on this thing, and this thing includes pretty much the same extras than this, because the disc here is the same, but this includes this all kind of unnecessary bullshit here, but it's a great box. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful cover. And so is this now Laserdisc version of Rambo 2, including the original Laserdisc audio mix, which is kind of, I think it was the similar than the cinema release. I don't know. It got some attention when the Lionsgate included the Laserdisc audio there as well. But I don't know anything about that. But this I do know that, yeah, this has very sweet cover art here. It's a beaut, and then The VHS, the original rental release from the Transworld Video, which has this kind of cool orange looking cover style in it. And this is slightly cut. I think it's cut from that scene where Rambo is tortured in this electrical, I don't know, what do you call this, electrical bed or something. But I think that scene has been shorter in this one. And then later release we got this like for sale tape, and this has some more cutting to it. Some shootings are cut and stabbings are cut, but I think the cover is good. But these two videotapes I have, and then I'll show you the 4K. Obviously I have it on the similar 4K Ultra HD than I had the first part. Nothing too special about to comment about this one. It's a very standard release. It has also, this is a Nordic release. You can tell it by this age limit, and has Nordic subtitles and also a bunch of extras. Maybe this, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this has the same set of extras than the previous Blu-ray had. Yeah. And interviews from Stallone and from James Cameron, who was the writer and whatnot. And then finally, okay, this artwork. This has got to be one of my favorite artworks of all time. I mean, this is a massive artwork. This is depicting Rambo over the assaulting Soviet troops and this fighting helicopter, and oh shit, this is an absolutely huge cover. And this too, like the rest of the Laserdisc, were donations from Aceman, and it's an American Laserdisc, and nothing more to say, but it's a widescreen edition and great looking artwork for dang sure. And I'm happy that the same artwork found its way on this Finnish VHS 2, but this has been cut like, I don't know, 10 minutes or something. This is complete torso. It has been cut from the opening fight sequence. You remember the stick fighting sequence. It is like almost completely gone. And also this kind of knife violence and fighting violence and shooting, they have all been trimmed down. So there's no need absolutely ever to watch this, but I think the overall covers are nice enough that this, you know, like keeps its place in the Sylvester Stallone collection. And then I have it also on 4K Ultra HD. Same deal than previously. Nothing too special to report on these Nordic releases, including also the Blu-ray and the 4K Ultra HD. And the picture quality, I think it was okay. Nothing like a balls exploding material, but you know, it was a fine picture quality in all these discs then. But then, hey, I don't have Rambo 4 on 4K Ultra HD at all, but I think this is an actually very good and surprisingly good movie. If you consider that this came out like in 2008, so this can be like a loyal to the spirit of Rambo, but still put some new twist to it, and you know, offer a very brutal set of like action shootouts and execution scenes and shenanigans like that. But Rambo 4 is an excellent picture. I love it. I really truly love it, and it really shouldn't be this good, but it is. It is. Highly recommend this. See Rambo 4. And Sylvester Stallone still did one more Rambo movie, and it's called Rambo Last Blood. And here I have this Nordic release, but for some reasons those freaking bastards did not include Finnish subtitles to it. I didn't know that because when I bought this, and yeah, it's a real issue because this has a lots of dialogue in Spanish language, and I do not speak Spanish at all, so it's very difficult to follow. But unfortunately, it's a Rambo movie, so basically, yeah, I have seen it in cinemas too, and yeah, I remember that the plot is not that you know, unique. So Stallone goes to find his daughter-in-law, who was it? And stepdaughter or something, and she's been hijacked by these kind of human traffickers in Mexico, and then the girl dies, and then Rambo takes revenge. So, oh, yeah, it's a very hardcore, not equally cool movie than Rambo 4, but I think it stands in its own merits well enough. Well, if I had to rate Rambo's, I would probably rate. Okay, First Blood is the actually best film, but I think Rambo 2 is also an amazing film. Hell, I like all Rambo movies. Rambo 3 is an okay movie, not as good as Rambo 2 or 1, but it's still the action sequences in this one kind of they kind of like set the new standard back in the year 1988 when it was released. And also, I really love Rambo 4. Once again, standards were renewed, and especially the violence. The amount of violence in Rambo movies, that was like amped up, which I do like. And then, okay, Rambo, I think this is the lesser Rambo movies. Maybe it could be on par with the Rambo 3, but I have more nostalgia to Rambo 3, so I will say that Rambo 3 is the better one of this film. But this too is a good movie. Yeah, it's a good action revenge thriller. So yeah, I have no complaints of Rambo Last Blood either. So this was my Rambo collection. Tell me in the comments, what did you think about this collection? And I know that I'm missing some of the viewer favorites there. I'm certain of it, but still, this is my collection, and I think I have all necessary Stallone movies, but maybe, just maybe, I need to upgrade that Lionsgate Rambo 4K box sometime real freaking soon. Okay, thanks for watching, and hit me with comments and likes and subscribe the channel. Until the next video, goodbye.